Change doesn't wait for your permission. It just happens. And those who resist it get left behind. But those who embrace it, they evolve, they rise, and they dominate. The question isn't whether change will come. It's whether you'll be ready when it does. Ladies and gentlemen, life is not a straight road. It's full of unexpected turns, sharp corners, and sudden storms. But let me tell you something powerful. Those who thrive are not always the strongest, not always the smartest, but the ones who can adapt. Because life will test you, break your plans, and shake your comfort zone just to see if you've got the courage to evolve or the fear to disappear. You see, change doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to develop you. It doesn't show up to break your spirit. It shows up to break your limits. Most people fear change because it forces them to confront the truth. That growth is uncomfortable, that evolution demands sacrifice, and that staying the same is no longer an option. But let me tell you this, if you don't adapt, life will move on without you. The people who win in this world are not those who cling to what used to work, but those who are brave enough to create what will work next. The world you knew yesterday is gone. The habits that got you here won't take you there. The mindset that served you in one season might suffocate you in the next. So stop fighting the flow of change. Become it. When life shifts, shift with it. When plans fail, pivot. When doors close, find windows. Because change is not your punishment. It's your preparation. Every disruption is an invitation to reinvent yourself. Every setback is a signal that it's time to evolve. And here's the truth. Those who resist change spend their lives reacting. But those who embrace it, they lead. They become the visionaries, the innovators, the creators of their destiny. Let me tell you, the greatest moments of growth in your life will not come when everything is comfortable and predictable. They will come when everything falls apart, when you have no choice but to stretch, to adapt, to rise beyond what you thought possible. That's when you'll discover your real power, not the kind that comes from knowing what's next, but the kind that comes from trusting you'll figure it out no matter what's next. Change is not the enemy, my friends. Stagnation is. Growth is not scary. Staying the same is. You've got to understand that life is always evolving. And if you want to be part of that evolution, you must be willing to shed the old version of yourself. The world belongs to the flexible, the resilient, the open-minded, the ones who dare to let go of what was to embrace what can be. Don't hold on to broken routines. Don't chain yourself to outdated dreams. Be willing to adapt, because adaptation is how you rise above the chaos and create opportunity from uncertainty. So when life shifts, don't panic. Pivot. When people doubt you, don't argue, evolve. When challenges come, don't hide, transform. Because the truth is, you can't stop change, but you can steer it. You can shape it. You can use it. The question is, will you adapt or will you disappear? Will you let change define you? Or will you redefine yourself through change? This world doesn't reward the ones who wait. It rewards the ones who adjust. The future doesn't belong to those who cling to the past. It belongs to those who are bold enough to create what's next. So make a decision today, not just to survive change, but to master it. Because when you embrace change as your ally, life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. And that's where true power begins, not in control, but in adaptation. Change isn't your enemy. It's your greatest teacher and ally. Most people run from it, fear it, or complain about it. But those who embrace it grow beyond their imagination. Change doesn't come to destroy, it comes to instruct. Every disruption you face, every plan that falls apart, every moment that makes you uncomfortable, that's life's classroom. And the lesson to evolve. You see, life is not static. Everything around you is in motion. The seasons, the opportunities, the relationships, the world itself. If everything is moving and you are not, guess what? You are falling behind. Change is the teacher that never stops showing up. It doesn't wait for your approval. It doesn't care about your comfort. It's not here to please you. It's here to prepare you. But most people don't see that. They treat change like an intruder instead of an instructor. When life shifts, they panic. When plans fail, they freeze. When doors close, they cry. But the ones who rise, the ones who transform, they see change as a message that it's time to step into a higher version of themselves. Change will challenge your routines, your habits, and your identity. It will strip away everything you thought was safe. But sometimes it's exactly what you need to be shaken out of the comfort zone that's slowly killing your potential. Because nothing grows in comfort. Comfort is the silent killer of greatness. And if you let change do its work, it will reveal a strength in you that comfort could never uncover. You see, your greatest breakthroughs come wrapped in the disguise of discomfort. The loss of a job might be the birth of your purpose. The end of a relationship might be the beginning of self-discovery. The failure that humbles you might be the seed that grows your future success. Change will test you, yes, but it will also teach you how to endure, how to innovate, how to keep faith when the road disappears. You cannot fight change and win, because when you resist it, you only create suffering. But when you accept it, you create growth. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. The storms are not there to destroy you. They are there to strengthen your foundation. When you begin to see change as your ally, not your enemy, you start to use it to your advantage. You start to look at your challenges and say, this is not the end, this is the transition. You stop saying, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because the truth is, change is not optional. It's inevitable. But growth is a choice. You can either evolve with life or watch life evolve without you. Every great achiever, every visionary, every success story began with someone who said, I'm willing to change. They understood that comfort and progress can't coexist. You can't hold on to who you were and reach who you're meant to become. When you begin to see change as your greatest teacher, life opens up in powerful ways. Suddenly, you stop clinging to the old and start creating the new. You stop looking at endings as losses and start viewing them as transitions. You stop fearing the unknown and start trusting that every unknown is a path to your next level. So don't curse change, collaborate with it. Don't fight what's shifting, flow with it. Don't hide from transformation, walk into it. Because change is not your punishment, it's your preparation. It's sculpting you for the future you've been praying for. Sometimes God doesn't change your circumstances because He's trying to change you. The question is, will you let Him? Will you allow the lessons of change to make you stronger, wiser, and bolder? Or will you let fear keep you in the same place, wondering why life feels stagnant? When you start seeing change as an ally, you stop running from life and start running with it. That's when you grow. That's when you evolve. That's when you rise into the person you were destined to become. Comfort zones destroy potential faster than failure ever could. You see, comfort is seductive. It whispers, stay here, it's safe. Don't risk. Don't stretch. Don't try. But what comfort doesn't tell you is that while it feels safe, it's actually suffocating your dreams. Comfort is not peace. It's paralysis. You can't grow in a place that's designed to keep you the same. The truth is, the walls of your comfort zone are decorated with excuses. I'll start tomorrow. I'm not ready yet. Maybe someday. That's the voice of comfort keeping you small. But failure, on the other hand, will push you to expand. Failure hurts, but it also heals. It teaches. It refines. Comfort lulls you into sleep. Failure wakes you up. So many people want greatness, but they're not willing to be uncomfortable long enough to get it. They want the glow without the grind. They want the victory without the vulnerability. They want success without the struggle. But that's not how life works. Every breakthrough begins with discomfort. Every transformation starts with a choice to step beyond what feels easy. Your dreams live on the other side of discomfort. Every champion you admire, every leader, every innovator, they all had to break through the comfort barrier. They had to face rejection, risk, embarrassment, and uncertainty. But that pain became power. That struggle became strength. Comfort feels good now, but costs you later. Discomfort feels painful now, but pays you later. Which one will you choose? The easy road that keeps you average, or the hard road that builds your greatness? When you stay comfortable, you live below your potential. You settle for what's familiar instead of fighting for what's possible. But when you choose discomfort, when you dare to walk into the unknown, to take the risk, to fail and rise again, that's when you discover who you really are. Because the truth is, comfort is temporary, so is discomfort. But the results of each last forever. One leads to regret, the other to reward. Comfort keeps you stagnant, discomfort takes you higher. So stop praying for things to be easier and start praying for the strength to endure. Don't chase comfort, chase growth. Don't run from the fire, walk through it. Because the fire doesn't burn the strong, it forges them. Your life won't change until you decide to leave the comfort zone that's been keeping you average. You're capable of more, you're built for more. But you have to choose discomfort, not because it's fun, but because it's necessary. Greatness demands discomfort. Every time you stretch beyond what's easy, you grow. Every time you do what scares you, you evolve. And every time you say no to comfort and yes to courage, you get one step closer to becoming unstoppable. Adaptability is not about changing who you are. It's about expanding who you can become. Life doesn't wait for your permission to change. It shifts, it turns, it twists. And if you don't learn how to move with it, it will leave you behind. You see, adaptability is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's the ability to bend without breaking, to adjust without losing your identity, and to evolve without abandoning your purpose. So many people get stuck because they keep fighting the change they should be flowing with. They say, I wasn't supposed to be this way. But life doesn't care about how it was supposed to be. It's showing you how it needs to be. You must learn to pivot. When doors close, you find windows. When plans fail, you create new ones. When people walk away, you walk forward anyway. That's adaptability. The courage to keep growing even when life rearranges your map. When you're adaptable, you become unstoppable. Because life will always throw surprises. The question is, will you freeze or will you flex? Think about it. The strongest trees aren't the ones that resist the wind, they're the ones that sway with it. They bend, but they don't break. That's how you must be. You can't control the storm, but you can control how you respond to it. Adaptability is faith in motion. It's saying, I may not understand why this is happening, but I trust that it's preparing me for something greater. It's having the confidence to reinvent yourself when life demands it. It's refusing to let a change of circumstances become a change in your character. There will be times when everything you planned will fall apart. Your dreams, your career, your relationships, and it will feel like you've lost control. But hear me, that's not the end, that's the invitation. Life is asking, can you evolve? Can you trust that this shift is not punishment, but positioning? Adaptability is your answer to that question. Every great achiever, every visionary, every innovator, they all had to master the art of adapting. They faced rejection, loss, and change, but they didn't stop. They didn't get bitter. They got better. They didn't let the circumstances define them. They let them refine them. That's what adaptability does. It turns adversity into advancement. If you want to rise, you have to be flexible. Don't let pride make you rigid. Don't let fear make you freeze. The world is constantly changing, and you can't lead in a new world with an old mindset. Be willing to unlearn, relearn, and evolve. Because growth doesn't come from holding on, it comes from letting go. Adaptability is not about losing your path, it's about finding a new route to the same destination. When the road ends, build a bridge. When the map fades, follow your intuition. When it gets dark, trust the vision inside you. That's how you move from survival to success, by adjusting, aligning, and advancing. You can't grow if you're too afraid to change. You can't rise if you keep resisting what life is trying to teach you. Adaptability is not about control. It's about surrender. Not to weakness, but to wisdom. Not to fear, but to faith. When you adapt, you rise above circumstances and become unstoppable, because nothing can shake a person who knows how to shift and still move forward. Fear is a master of disguise. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It tells you, wait until it's perfect. You're not ready yet. What if you fail? It disguises itself as logic, as caution, as common sense, but beneath it all it's fear. Fear of change, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. And if you let it, that fear will build walls around your destiny. But here's the truth, growth only happens on the other side of fear. Every time you let fear stop you, you shrink your potential. Every time you face it, you expand your capacity. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't talent, it's courage. Not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Fear says, stay where you are. Faith says, move forward anyway. Fear says, what if you lose? Faith says, what if you win? Fear will always show you the risk, but faith will reveal the reward. The problem is that too many people listen to the wrong voice. They let fear dictate their decisions, and in doing so, they never experience the fullness of their potential. If you want to rise, you must learn to make fear your servant, not your master. Fear has a purpose. It's there to alert you, not to control you. It's a signal, not a sentence. You can feel fear and still move forward. You can feel unsure and still take action. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the dominance of faith over it. The people who achieve greatness are not fearless. They are faithful. They walk through uncertainty with belief. They step into the unknown trusting that something greater is guiding them. When fear says, you can't handle this, faith says, you were built for this. Don't wait for fear to disappear. It never will. The only way to silence fear is to move through it. Action cures fear. When you take a step forward, fear loses power. When you stand still, it grows. Every time you move, you prove to fear that it doesn't own you. You can't pray for courage and then expect comfort. Courage is built in conflict. It's forged in the fire of fear. Every time you push past your limitations, every time you take one more step when you want to quit, every time you rise after a fall, that's courage in motion. That's faith in action. So stop letting fear be the loudest voice in your life. Start listening to that quiet whisper inside that says, there's more in you. Fear builds walls. Faith builds doors. Fear looks at the storm. Faith looks at the shore. Fear sees the obstacle. Faith sees the opportunity. Yes, fear will come. Yes, it will shake you, but it cannot stop you unless you give it permission. The moment you decide, I will move forward anyway, fear begins to lose its grip. Because when you walk by faith, when you trust the process, when you believe that everything you face is preparing you, fear becomes fuel. It no longer paralyzes you. It propels you. And that's when you step into a new level of power, courage, and destiny that fear can no longer touch. When you refuse to change, you don't just stay the same, you fall behind. The world doesn't stop moving because you're uncomfortable with motion. Time doesn't pause because you're scared to evolve. Life is like a river. It flows forward, not backward. And if you're standing still, you're not safe, you're sinking. So many people live stuck in yesterday's habits, holding on to what used to work, refusing to see that the game has changed. They're operating with an old mindset in a new season. They're trying to use yesterday's tools to build tomorrow's future. But you can't move into the next chapter of your life if you're still reading the last one. The truth is, life rewards those who are willing to adapt. The ones who study, who listen, who grow, who evolve. The ones who say, I may not know everything, but I'm willing to learn something new. Those are the ones who thrive. Because while everyone else is complaining about change, they're becoming the change. You see, change isn't your enemy. Your resistance to it is. You don't get stronger by avoiding pressure. You grow because of it. Every time life forces you to adjust, it's not punishing you. It's preparing you. It's saying, I'm taking you somewhere higher. But you can't take that old version of yourself with you. Think about it. Every season of your life requires a new version of you. The person you were 5 years ago can't handle where you're going next. The mindset that helped you survive won't help you succeed. The habits that got you started won't get you to greatness. You've got to evolve. You've got to stretch. You've got to grow beyond your comfort zone. Refusing to adapt is like trying to drive with your eyes glued to the rearview mirror. You're going to crash. Life is constantly calling you forward. It's saying, come up higher. But too many people are saying, no, I'm fine here. Fine. No, you're familiar. And familiarity is the enemy of growth. You don't grow in comfort. You grow in challenge. The only constant in life is change. And if you don't learn to ride it, it will ride over you. Life doesn't slow down for those who refuse to keep up. You have two choices, evolve or dissolve, adapt or disappear. Look around. The people who made it through the storms, through the setbacks, through the chaos, they weren't the most talented, they weren't the most educated, they weren't the most gifted, they were the most adaptable. They learned to pivot. They didn't panic, they planned. They didn't break, they bent. That's the key, because when you refuse to evolve, life will evolve without you. The world will move on, and you'll be sitting in the ruins of what used to be. Don't let that be you. Don't become outdated in your thinking, your faith, or your vision. Every day, ask yourself, what can I learn today? What can I improve today? How can I grow today? Because the moment you stop learning, you start dying. Don't let pride keep you from progress. Don't let fear keep you from the future. You are built to adapt, to change, to expand. Life is going to change. The question is, will you? Because when you do, that's when you move from surviving to thriving, from existing to evolving, from watching life happen to creating your own future. Change isn't a thief, it's a teacher. It doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to develop you. And one of the most powerful lessons change will ever teach you is patience. You can adapt quickly, but you must grow slowly. Growth is not an overnight process, it's a daily decision. When life shifts, it's easy to get frustrated. You say, why is this happening to me? But what if it's not happening to you? What if it's happening for you? Every delay, every detour, every door that closed, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Life knew what you didn't. Sometimes change will break you before it builds you. It will strip away the old so the new can be born. And during that process, you'll feel lost, confused, maybe even forgotten. But that's when you must trust the process. Just because you can't see growth doesn't mean it isn't happening. The seed doesn't stop growing just because it's underground. We live in a world obsessed with speed. Everyone wants quick results, instant success, fast breakthroughs. But real transformation doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the shadows. It happens when no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when no one understands. That's where strength is forged, in silence, in struggle, in seasons of waiting. Change requires surrender. You can't evolve if you're still clinging to control. You have to trust that life knows what it's doing. You have to believe that every uncomfortable moment is shaping you for what's next. You may not understand it now, but one day, you'll look back and realize the pain had purpose. There will be moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. But maybe, just maybe, it's falling into place. Growth often comes disguised as chaos. And when you learn to embrace that, you'll find peace even in transition. You'll stop asking, why me? And start saying, thank you for preparing me. Every great leader, every success story, every survivor, they had to go through seasons of invisible evolution. They adapted, they trusted, and they grew in silence before they ever rose in success. So when life changes on you, don't fight it, flow with it. When plans crumble, adjust your course. When people leave, release them with grace. When life shifts, shift with it. Because here's the truth, you can't reach new levels with an old mindset. You can't step into your future while holding on to your past. Let life stretch you, let change mold you. Let evolution elevate you. Every shift, every challenge, every moment of discomfort, it's shaping you into the person you were born to become. Change doesn't come to break you, it comes to build you. And if you have the faith to embrace it, the strength to endure it, and the wisdom to grow through it, nothing can stop you from rising into your destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Life is not waiting for you to catch up. It is moving, shifting, evolving. And if you want to experience everything you were created for, you must evolve with it. You can't keep holding on to what's comfortable and expect to grow. Growth will always demand that you let go of who you were so you can become who you're meant to be. The world doesn't reward those who resist change. It rewards those who embrace it. Every season of your life is a test, and every change you face is an invitation to rise higher. You can't stay stuck in fear when faith is calling you forward. You can't hide behind excuses when purpose is pulling you out. You must decide, I will not disappear while life is moving forward without me. I will adapt. I will learn, and I will keep becoming. Stop fighting the process. Stop wishing things were easier. Instead, ask for the strength to become better. Because when life shifts, it's not breaking you, it's building you. When doors close, it's not rejection, it's redirection. When the storm comes, it's not punishment, it's preparation. Every change, every challenge, every uncomfortable season has one purpose: to make you stronger, wiser, and more capable of carrying the greatness that's inside you. So don't run from change. Run with it. Let it sharpen you. Let it stretch you. Let it shape you into the person who's ready for the blessings that are waiting. Because your future doesn't belong to the person you were. It belongs to the person you're becoming. Life is going to keep moving, with or without you. So make a decision right now. You will not be left behind. You will not be the same a year from now. You will evolve. You will grow. You will rise. Because the moment you choose to adapt, you choose to survive. But the moment you choose to evolve, you choose to thrive.